Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at Anthony X, where he goes to a public library and gets trespassed, but yet argues he knows it's a limited public forum, and that he can still do what he wants there because it's open to the public. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep this channel going, so I want to personally thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the page, leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm, and if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Little kiosks right here at the library. Got the little station up there for the staff. What's that?
Did you have a question?
No, I'm good. Appreciate it.
Would you mind not filming in the library?
Oh, no, of course I'm going to. That's silly. Not filming the library. Let this gentleman conduct his business, then I'll find out why she wouldn't want me to record.
Well, there's a multitude of reasons why they wouldn't want you recording inside the library. Seeing as it's a limited public forum, they can set time, place, and man restrictions on that. However, how about that you don't disturb the other patrons there? I mean, people come to libraries to relax and read, to get private education through tutors, or to help clients that they're tutoring there. It's also a good place for families to take their children to get them into a hobby that is very beneficial. But regardless of all that, the reason they don't want you to do it is because they have asked you to. Now, you can either respect the wishes of this library, or you could be a jerk and continue to film, but the choice is up to you.
We're waiting.
Cool little library, guys. Not huge, but not a bad size. Nice and modern. I would like to see more artwork, but still nice, guys. Gonna wait till she's done helping that gentleman and go ask a question.
And while we wait for him to go ask his question, I'll be cutting out the dead air, so we'll just jump ahead to where he goes to ask the librarian this question that he so desperately needs to ask her, which is also important.
Hello. Yes, is there a branch on like supervisor, or librarian, or I don't know what the official title is, someone in charge? Just had a question for that person. Thanks.
Now guys, right here I do a 360 because I noticed a couple of kids walking in. It's not against the law to record them, but to be nice, I kept my back to them and tried my best. This is important because later she makes it sound like I'm deliberately trying to record customers and the kids. Keep in mind it's not illegal and I can't help if they walk in the background, but I am doing my best, just to be clear.
What a crock of shit. Have you ever heard more bullshit or drivel coming from somebody who's not even the president?
Well, they're all hiding kind of in the back. Hopefully she's getting the chief librarian or supervisor. Just kind of whispering, guys, losing my voice. Trying not to disturb any patrons here.
Here is where I have to call into question some of his statements he has made. He made that statement that he's not trying to film the patrons or customers. However, he just filmed 2 of them walking through. I get it that they may be adults. The gentleman may have been an older teen. He could still be a minor. However, the fact of the matter is this. You are saying that you don't want to film the patrons or the customers. You don't want to disturb them, but yet you're standing there. You have a camera on a tripod. So you can actually be more of a lookout of when somebody's coming by and actually move your camera.
Still waiting, guys. Been about 10 minutes now, and no one's come out. Maybe they're hoping I'm just gonna go away, who knows? Maybe they're watching me on a camera somewhere. I'm not gonna stop.
We do have signs up at the front.
I get it, you have that. I don't need that, I've seen them before.
Okay, I'm gonna place it right here for you.
I do have a question for you, though.
No, I'm gonna...
No, I have a question for you, ma'am.
You can't film in this.
I'm gonna film.
Okay, I'm gonna have to call PD. If
You can call them. This is a public entity. I pay for this. I have a right to be here. I'm not bothering patrons.
And giving them our call.
Shenanigans.
Na.
Shenanigans.
Na.
And we're calling shenanigans here. Because here's the thing. You are actually bothering the patrons. You may not know it because they may not have spoken to you, but you don't know if they have spoken to other staff, and other staff have made phone calls about the guy standing around with the camera filming everybody. Not to mention, you have a clear knowledge that there are signs saying that you're not allowed to film here, and choosing to ignore them. You're choosing to ignore the rules and policies that this library has in place. Why is that? Because you don't care about rules. You care about feelings. Your feelings in particular over than everybody else's.
And I have asked him to leave and he is not, so now he is trespassing.
I'm not trespassing, ma'am. I have a right to be here.
Wrong!
Awesome, thank you very much.
You do realize members of the public have a right to be here and to record. It's a First Amendment right. Policies don't trump that.
Can you call Joey, please?
This is why I wanted a supervisor, someone who actually knew the actual laws. If you had a policy that says I'm not allowed to pray, or am I going to be kicked out for praying, or free speech? I need your business card as well.
Hi, this is 3090 Allenrock Avenue. We have an individual who's in the library filming. We have given him our policies and let him know that this is not allowed. And we have asked him to leave and he is not, so now he is trespassing.
No, I have a right to be here, ma'am.
Now, you don't actually have a right to be here because when you enter in the library, which is a limited public forum, you can actually be asked to not film. They have time, place, and manner restrictions. And of course, if you look at the case of Greer v. Spock, just because a place is owned or operated by the government does not mean it becomes a First Amendment protected forum. Therefore, if they have time, place, and manner restrictions, like they do, and they have shown you their policies, and you choose to willfully ignore them and refuse to leave after being asked by staff, you are committing the crime of criminal trespassing. And they have the right to have the police escort you off the property. Now, what you choose to do with that information is up to you.
Yes. I believe white. No. Maybe 40s. Medium.
Non-consent.
Heavy build.
Don't need it.
Yes, you do.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
This is why I wanted to speak to a supervisor or a chief librarian.
I cannot see. He has a Golden State Warriors hat on. It is gray, and he has a black t-shirt.
Black t-shirt, camo pants, and black shoes.
Yes.
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
Yes. No, but he is holding what the little selfie stick thingies with 2 phones.
Yeah, peacefully recording, trying to get some information.
I can't tell.
No weapons.
He is right at our information desk where we help patrons.
Except you refuse to help me.
Kirsten?
Kirsten.
Can I not repeat that because he is filming me?
I'm gonna get a copy of their phone record anyways of the 911 call. I'll get all the information.
I am a clerk.
Kirsten, the clerk, will get her public information, her salary.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
408-808-3090, and then you can just call and ask for me or any of the supervisors that will know what's going on. Absolutely.
It's funny, I've been in their Cupertino library, other libraries. This is the only one that they are giving me problems.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are they giving you problems, or are they done dealing with the shenanigans of frauditors? Look at the recent events of North Cal Cop Watch, when he pepper sprayed a patron in a Dublin library. Now, they may have changed their policies throughout the entire state of California. I don't know, because I don't live there. However, you were given policies saying that they don't allow filming. There is signs on the doors. You acknowledge that this is a limited public forum, with your own words. But yet you continue to ignore their rules. Perhaps they are done dealing with your shenanigans and you not wanting to obey the rules and asking you to leave. And since you have refused to leave when you were asked, that gives them the grounds to call the cops to have you trespass from the property.
So you're gonna refuse to help me, ma'am? I'm trying to get service here. This belongs to the people. You can't ask anyone you want to leave just because you don't like me.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay. All right.
Can I get an application for a library card, please?
Yeah, it's on that computer. I can show you where it is.
I'm not really computer literate too much, so do you have an actual paper copy?
I can print one out for you. It'll give me a few minutes.
That'd be great. And do you have a business card since you're the acting supervisor?
I do not have a business card, actually. I can give you my branch managers, though.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. And if I wanted to file a complaint, I would call her?
Yep.
Perfect, because you will be getting a complaint.
Okay.
Calling the police, armed men, hoping to come and violate my rights for simply taking pictures. Telling me I can't sit down in a chair when I have a bad back.
Shenanigans.
No.
Shenanigans.
No.
And we're calling shenanigans yet again. Due to the simple fact that they never said you couldn't sit down. They only asked you to stop recording or to please leave. If you choose to stay and record and not leave, that's you committing the crime of criminal trespass under California Penal Code 602. Now, if you want to continue to stay there, turn off your cameras. But this is the problem with frauditors. You guys want to lie and spread misinformation because that is how you make your money. At no point in this entire video have I seen, or my viewers seen, that they said you could not sit in a chair. They have been nothing but polite and courteous to you, and you chose to...
Smuckering and laughing when I almost tripped on your thing right here? See if the police show up, guys. It'll be interesting.
Yes, it will. More interesting than the dead air and you harassing the rest of the staff there. So we're going to jump ahead to where Anthony has an encounter with a resource officer stationed at this library.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm Senior Resource Officer Villegas with the City of San Jose.
Okay.
So,
Do you have a card by any chance?
yeah, well, here's my ID.
Oh, okay.
I think I might have ran out of cards.
Sorry, it's backwards, I can't.
But, so basically, per the policies, we can't have you filming it.
Yeah, so just like I was,
It's a little weird. Let me say my spiel real
Okay, go
quick,
ahead.
and then I'll hear you out. It's a little weird. There's a lot of kids here. Obviously, you're located next to James Lick. I mean, it is kind of weird, so I don't understand why you're, filming.
So let me clarify. So to start off, when I came in, first of all, my goal is not just to dispel any myths. My goal is not to record children or bother patrons getting services, children or not. When I first came in, I was actually getting shots of like the pamphlets. I wasn't even recording anyone, just so you know particular. I was actually checking out like over there. I have a bad back. I was sitting down in the chair. She came out very rude, like, oh, you can't sit in the chair.
This is such a crock of shit.
She's saying you can't record just from the get-go. And just to clarify, so there's policies, there's penal code, statutes, whatever. There's also our Constitution. I'm an independent journalist working on a story. I did ask to speak with the chief librarian. She said he or she's not available. Branch manager. I'm not sure what the official title is, but that person's not available. Yeah. Just to clarify though, I am allowed to record in here as long as I'm not bothering people.
So this is
no, let me finish. Okay. And I get it, it's not a traditional public forum. Yeah. Whatever policies they have though, don't trump the actual Constitution.
Now you are partially correct due to the fact that, yes, the Constitution can't be trumped by any mere policy. However, there is U.S. Supreme Court case law that grants their policies to be enforced and applied to you. The Greer v. Spot case of 1972, which has established that just because a place is owned or operated by the government doesn't mean it becomes a First Amendment protected forum. And then there's the Airport Commissioner's case versus Jews for Jesus, which established the three types of public forums: the traditional, the limited, and the non-traditional public forum. Seeing as this is a limited public forum, and the U.S. Supreme Courts have established that time, place, and manner restrictions could be held here, and they can be enforced, and allow them to trespass you from the property if you do not adhere to those time, place, and manner restrictions, they can have you arrested, they can have you trespassed, and it's all on you because you choose to be as ignorant and
you try to trespass me from public or arrest me for simply working on a story and gathering content, I will hold you personally accountable under California Penal Code 148G. I can record you under our Constitution, the Tom Bain Civil Rights Act 52.1. You will lose qualified immunity. You will be held on the actual lawsuit, $25K. No, but you personally, if you violate my rights, if you're part of it, you can be held personally responsible.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
I take this?
Yeah, go for it.
Appreciate it. Yes, I'm right here at the door. Yeah. Alright, okay, cool. One second. Alright. No, I'm just letting them know.
Hopefully he understands he's not feelings enforcement.
Yeah, no, for sure. Cool. Alright, no problem. My bad, go ahead.
So just to clarify your position again, because I'm still a little confused. I see the badge you mentioned. Are you actually with like the San Jose PD?
Yeah, so I am a civil servant.
Gotcha.
The same way that was in the military.
Hey, let me start by doing this.
No,
I appreciate.
I'm okay.
Let me do this. Come on, man. I appreciate your service. Don't leave me hanging, brother.
I can't. So basically,
so you swore an oath to the Constitution. You fought for our freedom. I hope you're not about to try to violate my rights.
What I'm saying is that we have policies.
Policies, not law.
You're violating our policies.
Policy.
And because you're violating the policies, now we have to ask you to leave. Refusing to do so means that you're trespassing. And because you're trespassing, we have already called patrol. They will come and they will escort you out, or maybe even cite you.
So to clarify, so you are trespassing me from public property for not breaking any laws, not causing a disturbance, simply because I have a camera exercising my rights. And the same thing.
They are not asking you to leave or be trespassed because you are simply exercising your First Amendment rights. They are simply asking you to leave because you're violating their policies. And since you chose to ignore their policies and violate them and not leave when you were asked to by staff, that's why they're having you trespassed. Technically, you are breaking the law by continuing to stay there after being asked to leave.
Like free speech, or if I had a certain religion, the same Constitution, the 5 elements under the First Amendment, gives me authority to do what I'm doing.
Sorry.
I wasn't bothering any of the patrons here. I wasn't causing a disturbance.
Right.
I was literally just here in the front. Right. As a courtesy, I came out here actually because I thought I was waiting for PD to come out here so I could wait for him. I didn't realize you were going to come from over there.
Well, I'm not PD.
So by you telling me that you're trespassing me now, if you could write down, I'll leave. You don't have to worry about that. If you're saying you're trespassing me and you're going to do it, that's all I need for civil litigation. If you could write down your name and badge number on a piece of paper and an incident number, I'd like that, and I'll take off.
Again, I'm not a cop. I'm not.
Well, I thought you just said you were a cop.
No, I'm a senior.
You dumb bastard.
You're a resource officer.
Gotcha.
So when you go back and rewind that.
No, I heard you say that. I was just a little confused. That's my bad. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Because you have a badge, so you're not law enforcement.
I'm not law enforcement.
You're not a sworn law officer.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I'm a senior resource officer. I help out the homeless. I enforce policies. I enforce guidelines.
So you enforce policies.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this: if they had a policy saying no free speech, or no religion allowed in here, or no Mexican people or white people, would you enforce that?
Let's go talk outside.
Would you? No, I'm right here. I'm just saying here where it's cool. Would you enforce that?
Let's go. I appreciate talking outside. Just because there's other people
Well,
here.
that's why I'm over here. I'm not trying to go there. We're pretty far away. I'm just trying to stay out of the cool, man.
I get what you're getting at. I'm just letting you know you were being trespassed.
Do you have the authority to trespass someone?
Patrol, they are coming out.
Do you have authority to trespass
they will
someone?
be contacting you.
So they can contact me now. If they tell me I have to leave under threat of arrest, I'll leave. You're a disgrace, brother. You're a disgrace. I'm wondering what side you fought for. What a disgrace. Total disgrace to the uniform, guys. He said he fought for our country.
And have you served? Have you made the sacrifices that this man's made? Separation from his family, his friends, risking his life to defend the rights and freedoms of our country. But yet you have the balls to stand there and criticize him because he's not catering to your whims. Every frauditor who says stuff like this about anybody who served, I question their integrity. I question their moral compass because they had the nerve to go and fight for what's right. While you sit back here and criticize and judge people because they hurt your feelings. We're going to jump ahead to where the cops show up to deal with this idiot.
Hello. How are you? I'm just waiting for you guys. I was getting ready to take off because it's been hot, but I know they called on me. So I just wanted to get an incident number, one thing, when you're done. And then if you guys could just do me a favor and let them know that I have a right to be here. I wasn't bothering patrons. I wasn't sticking cameras in their faces.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to record children, even though I can't control if they're in the background or something. Right. When I first came in, right off the bat, I have a bad back. I just came from a doctor appointment. I was sitting in the chair right by the front, minding my own business, and she comes out snapping like, "Oh, you can't sit there." And I'm like, "I'm just resting my back for a few minutes." And
Liar!
she's like, "Oh, you can't record." And I'm like, "Of course I can record." I wasn't trying to record her, but when she engaged in conversation with me, I tried to explain to her that even though this is not a traditional public forum, this is still owned by the county. I have a right to be here. I got an application for a card. Right. I wanted to get some information from, I think it's the Tiffany. I could be wrong, the chief librarian or whatever you call them. It's like a supervisor kind of type role. Okay. But if you guys could let them know that I have a right to be here, they're not here. You guys aren't here to enforce fillings. We're law enforcement, and I hope you guys do the right thing and honor your oath. Now, if it's under threat of arrest and you guys say, "Hey, I have to leave," I will leave peacefully.
So I'll explain to you, like any business, this place itself also can ask you to leave.
Well, it's not a traditional business. That would be like City Hall saying, "Hey, we don't want you here," just because, like, so.
They can still ask you to leave.
Well, let me just ask. Let me let you know what I'm doing, just so you guys can make a more executive decision. So I'm independent press. I'm working on a First Amendment audit / story. I'm gathering content.
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit.
For a story under the First Amendment, which is protected under the 5 elements like freedom of speech, freedom of religion. If they didn't like my religion, if they didn't like speech because I'm speaking, they can't kick me out simply for exercising my right. Now, if I was causing a disturbance,
we haven't talked to them yet.
I'm just letting you know. But yeah, if I was causing a disturbance, I could totally see, hey, disturbing the peace, or you're not letting patrons do their, their activities in peace. Sure. But me simply, just checking out to see if there's any artwork. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been in your Cupertino one. I've been in your other San Jose ones. They're most of them, 99.9% of the time, they're very inviting. They come out and give me their business card. They let me know if they have any, like, how do you say, unique features like artwork or whatnot. The lady here, first of all, she's not the custodian of the property. She's just a staff member that doesn't want me here.
He's actually wrong yet again, surprisingly, because she does have the authority as a staff member or an agent of the library to ask you to stop filming and to leave if you're going to continue to ignore their policy. Since it is a limited public forum, time, place, and manner restrictions are here, and they must be adhered to. Now, we're going to jump ahead because this actually goes on for quite a bit longer, where he gives the cops a runaround about they're violating his rights, and the cops try to explain to him that they might ask him to leave, they might allow him to come back in. So let's jump ahead to where the cops actually get done talking to staff.
Done. Guys aren't about to arrest me, are you? I see the gloves on. Okay. So how did it work out? Are we good?
Okay, so they've asked you to leave several times while you're inside, correct?
I can't answer personal questions.
No, you're lying. You're lying. What makes you lie?
Okay, they told us they have.
Okay.
And they want to press charges for trespassing. It's a muni code, it's an infraction.
So even though I'm not committing any crime, I'm just simply in here exercising my rights. They want to press charges and you guys are going to enforce that?
It's a muni code violation.
For peacefully recording, getting information.
They asked you to not record. And
Yeah, but the rules don't trump my rights, though. It's our Constitution. Like I said, if it's under threat of arrest, I will leave. But I would like to see those that you guys educate them.
I understand what you're trying to say, so...
Because I have rights, too.
You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass. Why don't you jump up on the stand? You have a
It's like my partner explained, it's still a business.
It's a business open to the public for the people, though. By the people.
Yes, and they can
it's like a post office.
They still have the rules.
But it's not law.
I'm telling you, they have their rules, right? They asked you to comply with the rules. They asked you multiple times. They provided you a copy of these rules, and you didn't comply. And you return, you're still doing the same thing. They advised us the same thing, and I'm telling you now. And right now, it's only a violation of a municipal code, which is only an infraction.
Okay?
Yes.
So you guys are going to give me a ticket?
Yes.
For being in a public building?
After they asked you to leave.
In a public building?
And trespassing.
Yeah, but it's a public building open to the people. Do you guys have a sergeant you can call?
Sure.
Yes, and while we wait for them to get the supervisor for Karen over here, let's analyze what he just said. He said this is no different than a post office. A post office has rules and policies that you must adhere to if you wish to do business with them. So, just like that, with that logic, this library has policies and rules that you must adhere to if you wish to conduct business with them. So, if you want to obey the rules, you would have had no problem. But since you blatantly chose to ignore their rules and their policies, and refused to leave after being asked multiple times by multiple staff members, that is why you're getting the citation for trespassing. Just because they didn't want to go and cater to what you feel is the interpretation of policies and laws doesn't mean it's right or wrong. If you have an issue with it, fight it in court like an actual adult, not yell and scream and have a tantrum or a hissy fit like a...
You want a sergeant?
If possible, yes. So I can't believe you guys are about to enforce feelings rather than actual law.
It's not feelings.
It is feelings. I'm exercising a First Amendment right.
It's absolutely not feelings.
I'm working on a First Amendment right, and you guys are about to give me a citation, taking money out of my pocket for my family because I'm exercising my rights.
They have their own guidelines, okay?
Guidelines, but not law.
Right. But if you make people uncomfortable...
I wasn't going around making people feel uncomfortable. I was literally in the corner minding my own business.
Let me explain to you what they told us, the details.
Okay.
You were filming, maybe minding your business at some point.
Yes.
Okay. But you were coming up to people within reach where it could be recorded on your camera.
Right.
They're saying that they were giving out information like names, last names, dates of birth.
I'm sorry. What?
Information.
Say that part again.
Dates of birth.
No, but what do you mean? Like as far as that goes, what do you mean?
So let's say he's the librarian. I'm somebody else, whatever citizen, a kid, and they're asking for information. You're recording this transaction.
That I wasn't doing.
Well, that's not what they're
That's
saying.
why I was confused when you said that.
Right. So that's why I want to explain the details, right? So
There
that's
was
why they don't allow that kind of stuff because there's personal information being let out and you're recording it.
So literally, I have everything on camera. When I was sitting in the corner, one guy came in after, which was going to the stand over there.
Camera or no?
Yeah, I can show it to you, but I can just so you know. So when he was getting his business, I deliberately walked away, kind of just to let him finish his business.
Times, right? The kids, that kind of stuff, but
I wasn't recording. Like when they were up there, like I never once went behind him and was going like this and recording personal information.
So,
but even if I was, the onus falls on them to protect it, not me.
So,
but I was.
Like having policies preventing people from filming or taking photos where that information can be taken and used nefariously. Like the policy you violated and choose to willfully ignore.
So here's the thing, they can't tell when your camera is on or off, right? Because you just have it on gimbal.
But they can tell when I walk away, though. I walked away when that gentleman was up there.
Maybe, I don't know.
I can show you the footage if you do want to see it. I'm happy to show it to you.
We take a look
On there, if that would help influence your decision before trying to enforce feelings.
They've already established that they want to press charges, and you can, whenever you go to court, you can sue them if you want. I don't know, whatever you want to.
So wouldn't you have to see? Wouldn't you have to see that infraction in order to enforce it? Wouldn't you have to give me the opportunity to leave?
No, because they've asked you to leave several times, and you came back several times.
I never said they asked me several times.
For them, right? You were inside the library. You mentioned
where I have a right to be.
Okay. Well, again, you can't record.
So if they don't want me in there because I'm black or Mexican, and they have a policy that says you can't have religion or free speech.
There's nothing about race mentioned.
No, but this is my First Amendment right, our Constitution. I'm literally just working on a story peacefully. Okay. I'm not yelling at people. I'm not following people around.
Right.
I'm not going behind restricted areas.
So would you agree that when someone tells you, hey, even though it's your right, free public open space, not inside their building necessarily, but that if they say, hey, there's confidential information being said, or we don't.
This officer is wasting his breath because Anthony will flat out tell you, because he does in this video, no, he doesn't care about other people's feelings or their policies. It's all about how it affects him and his constitutional rights and his feelings. So this goes on for a way longer than it needs to. So we're going to jump ahead to where the sergeant shows up and tells Anthony to leave.
Do your due diligence.
You have multiple witnesses saying the same thing.
Yeah, all workers.
They don't want him inside the building. It doesn't matter if he's peaceful or not. If they don't want you in there, sir, they're asking that you leave.
So like I explained to him, if it's under threat of arrest, I will leave. But I'm just so you know, too, because I'm going to hold you guys accountable. I'm working on a First Amendment protected activity, freedom of press. That's the same thing as them kicking me out for saying because I have a religion they don't like, or I'm wearing a T-shirt they don't like, a freedom of expression. I wasn't bothering anyone. I wasn't following people around.
But essentially, if a business, or this would be, I understand it's a public library, but if someone asks you to leave their property.
It's not their property, though. It belongs to the people. They're not the custodianship. They don't have the custodianship.
We're not going to get into that whole argument about who owns it and all that.
Why don't you call this
Just
person who's in charge?
You don't need to. You don't need to. They're asking you.
So you're going to enforce feelings.
Do they want to press charges, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, if you don't leave, you're going to be arrested.
No, I will leave. I told him that. I'm
then,
just.
Okay, then the conversation.
But he said he's going to give me a ticket, though. Can I just walk away and leave then?
We're going to end it here. Anthony continues to go on his diatribe of how they violated his rights and it was unconstitutional, and he has every right to be in there, even though it's a limited public forum. He also does not receive a ticket. He does get a trespass warning telling him he cannot go back to this library for 1 year. He does also continue on by stating that he's going to sue the librarian, the resource officer, and the cops who violated his rights. Also stating that he will have his minions call flood the librarian's chief branch manager here and insist that they remove it, or he's going to sue her as well. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and a special thing to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous, ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so thank you from the bottom of my heart.